You tuned in to the most shadow banned man in the land. Thanks for not trusting the plan, but instead coming to Lamar Aizmo. I'm back with another video, and let's get right into it. Last time I was doing some Bible commentary, and I'm using a translation of the Torah, which was done by an actual Jewish organization. If you look at my prior video, I gave the exact name of the organization. So, because what I plan to do is breaking down the Bible into segments of all the problematic material, especially the Old Testament. I will touch briefly on the New Testament in the future, but that's a ways off. Well, God willing, if I live long enough. Because you bet your bottom dollar, if I'm alive, I'm gonna finish this mission and get these videos uploaded with my critique of the Bible and its adherents, whether they be the tribe or their Christian offshoots. Because talked about in the past how initially the first Christians pretty much kept the same Hebrew religion. Jesus was not the Son of God, but well, while we're talking about Jesus, let's briefly touch on why I gave up on Christianity and why it wasn't for me. Because when I really thought about it, I said one of the things that I didn't like was, okay, you believe that this guy died for your sins, you do communion and go to church. No matter how rotten of a person you are, you're going to be forgiven and go to heaven. You could have been a mass murdering slave master slash rapist, but if you were a member of the church, you're good to go. You'll get a good afterlife after wreaking havoc and destroying the world. Which you look at today, you have people like John Hagee who has done, and he's not the only one. But as far as evangelical Christians go, they've done a lot to destroy the lives of many innocent men, women, and children in Palestine. And they'll be accountable to God for that. I'm a believer in God, and I do believe we will be judged for our actions, or if not even judged, we'll reap we'll reap what we sowed in this life. Because in this life, apparently, there is no justice to be found in many cases. If you're rich and powerful enough, you can get away with anything. As this new crop of people, because of TikTok, found out about Pizzagate, knows now that yeah, if you're rich and connected enough, you could do anything, and you'll get away with it. But now I have my notes here from my readings of the. So I think we last left off. I can't recall exactly where, but one of the things that I think I didn't mention was the fact that within this mythology, this Jewish mythology, you have this God creating a family, just two people, and them being responsible for the human race entirely, which is totally impossible because we know about things like too much inbreeding causes genetic defects and problems to the point where if you inbreed too much, the eventual offspring will be sterile, just because of or they'll either be sterile or too whacked out of their mind to care about reproduction. So, but putting that aside, you had the story of Noah, which is a myth. Big problems in that story. To name a few, was the fact that this guy lived an impossibly long lifespan. That everyone besides him and his sons were irredeemably evil in the eyes of God, who again he made the entirety of humanity. But and he's supposed to be perfect and he's supposed to be omniscient. So why did he make these people to suffer like this, to be as disgusting to him as they were, and to choose? And this is a theme that you'll find in the Old Testament a lot, is for some reason the second son being favored by God. That's going to happen in many instances, all the way from Abel to Esau and Jacob. In this Moses tale, it's just weird. Like just one of the themes. But you also see that this God always chooses one guy to convey a message to, as opposed to enlightening the entirety of humanity, like better characters from mythology like Prometheus. Um, anyway, so you have a worldwide flood, which is impossible because there's not enough water on the earth to produce that sort of flood. Had that happened, even all the ocean life would have died because so much pressure. These animals that live in the depths of the ocean and just in the ocean in general have to cope with a lot of pressure, and some of them, actually most of them, don't end up going to the bottom of the deeper parts of the ocean because of either pressure or even crush them in many instances. So not only that, you would have had the water being tarnished by so much death and havoc and destruction from the land being mixed into it. Water would have been a pretty toxic mix, full of debris and you name it. And again, there's just not that much water on Earth for the entire world to be flooded. And had that happened, where would how would the water, you know, how could the water have receded? It's just, especially in that short amount of time, a matter of months. You also have the fact that all these pairs of animals would have went to the ark, and the people who wrote this myth didn't know about the Americas, and probably didn't know about even Australia or East Asia, and the variety of animals that live there, and not to mention Antarctica. So you would have had to get penguins, koala bears, and Australia had these big land roaming crocodiles, Komodo dragons. The methane produced by all the flatulence on the ark would have killed these animals. And again, I thought what this Jewish Bible is doing, or this their translation of the Torah, is trying to edit out some of this problematic stuff. But even they can't. If they were to edit too much, it would totally change the content of the Bible. But just from these stories alone, it should be obvious. And we already talked about how the earth was made before light, even as a concept, was thought of. Because not only was in the Bible myth, not only was there no sun and there was no sun and stars prior to Earth. Even light itself, it said God invented light at a certain point after the Earth was made. Then you had land animals coming about before the ocean life, which we know, according to science, is happened the other way around. Life started in the water. Now, moving along from Noah, eventually Noah. Another problem, and this is for the Black Hebrew Israelites, the curse of Canaan, which is is mislabeled as the curse of Ham, because the curse actually ends up on his son instead of him. Again, another thing that this devil Jehovah or Yahweh does is curse future generations that had nothing to do with the offense in the first place. So you have Noah getting drunk for some reason. He goes to a drunken stupor, goes to sleep, and his son looks at him naked for some reason. I don't know. This is no. That's all I got to say about that. No, but long and short of it is that one of his sons, Canaan, is cursed by saying, because he did this. Noah says your son will be the servant of servants to his brothers. So, and they associate this myth with people with darker skin like myself, black people, quote unquote black, because we're not black. Even the blackest people, I noticed this at my job. There are a lot of Africans at my job. But even the blackest unmixed people from Africa aren't actually black. If you put them next to a black T-shirt, I mean the darkest people I've seen, they're not as black as the T-shirt. So I think we should start calling ourselves brown, and the people that are referred to as brown are actually tan. But that's just my opinion. But so they tie this into why black people are at the bottom of most ethnic totem poles, if you will. So yeah, you have that whole problem, and then and see the Black Hebrew Israelites. What they don't realize is that if this this devil Yah, they like to call him Yah. It's this is what happens when you don't have vowels in your language. By the way, you see it spelled YVH, YWH, Yahweh, Jehovah, you know, etc., etc. No vowels, people could just make up things. So who knows what this demon's original name was, but he's done a lot to influence humanity for the worse for millennia now. And hopefully he's thrown into the dustbin of history eventually. I mean, this curse can, I mean, hopefully it doesn't last much longer because that's pretty much what this Torah, Tanakh, has done for humanity and the ethnic group that attaches this religion to their ethnicity. They've done a lot to undermine goodness and humanity with these myths. And I've said this in the past. Zeus is a much better mythological chief god than Yahweh is. Yahweh's actually, I like to call him the demon lord Yahweh. And you'll find out why as we continue to critique this Torah. And again, once I'm done with this Torah, there's going to be a verse, a direct quote verse, because I'm going to use the King James, and I'm going to use several translations of the King James. So by the time I'm done with this mission, if you stick around, there should be no way you believe in the Bible or any of its derivative religions. But continuing on, you know, flash forward, you get this guy Abram, who again is the guy's going to choose this guy. He's from this town called Ur in Mesopotamia. He's going to break him away from his family and his family's religion and tell him to follow him and to this what he's going to call the promised land, which you're later going to find out that the original promise for the promised land is from the river of Egypt, which is the Nile, all the way to the western river in what is today Iraq. Sometimes I get the Tigris and Euphrates. I think this is the river Euphrates, but so he's going to give this guy's descendants all the land uh, between those two bodies of water, which is very problematic and very stupid of a God who's, again, he's supposed to be omniscient and he's supposed to want the best for these people. Why didn't he make Abraham trek his way to Siberia or Kamchatka or, you know, that region, northeastern Russia? It was very thinly peopled by that time, I'm pretty sure. Even to this day, that place is sparsely inhabited. This god, this devil that they worship was in any way competent. He would have sent them there. It would have been much better real estate for his chosen races. They would have had to deal with a lot less pressure from greater powers than them. Like the Romans, the Greeks and the Romans who, in terms of humanity and you know what they've achieved for the human race is a lot more favorable, and they've done a lot more for humanity than this tribe ever has and probably ever will, because they're still up to their old tricks, being racist, undermining other people, and trying to take everything for themselves. But we've reached our 13-minute time limit in honor of Dan Marino. This is LA, and I'm out of here. I may upload another video before I have to work on Slavelandia, but and again, I might not. Not really incentivized to rush these videos. The financial support isn't there, which is understandable given the current circumstances. But God willing, I'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching.